Good day, everyone. So this will be the last topic for uh, social and professional issues for IT. So I think I gave this one already, and I'll just do a run through with this one on the topics that will be discussed on this module. And then please be reminded that I'll be giving the final exam via Google Form. Okay? So let's discuss computer and internet crimes. Okay, the very rampant internet crimes. So let's all agree na the systems in place in our computer should protect us from any malicious attacks or theft or disruption. Okay, so based on the recent surveys and ranking of organizations that are attacked by uh, uh, what do you call when damaged or affected by cyber threats. You have here on the first table, these are the 10 most valuable information that criminals get to access in a cyber attack. So the first one on the list is customer information, because if you could still remember on our topics in our previous topics, di ba? The information provided by customers are most likely the information that are used to provide access either in their bank accounts or in their private accounts, di ba? So you also have it here, cyber threats ranked accordingly. Okay, this was on the year 2018 to 2019. And if there will be changes, I think medyo maliit lang. Okay, so number one and then number two, diba? If you notice, it's phishing and malware. So it can be inferred na cyber attacks happen when there is a successful phishing and malware. Okay, that's the inference kumbaga with the survey na ginawa. Okay, now for the computer crimes, let's all remember na this type of crimes pose threats to individual, organization, groups, and then of course in general to the nation. Now, why do we consider as computer incidents prevalent in our society? When you say prevalent, it means it's widespread or laganap na. The first one is the number of possible entry points to a network expands. So, di ba, remember, we are embracing technological advancement nowadays. Okay? So, that means it also invokes the availability of a lot of entry points. Di ba? The second one is that there is a higher computer user expectations. Okay? So, with this one, computer support desks or those people who provide assistance are under extreme pressure to counter very instantly to user questions. Okay? So, the earlier the active computer users can resolve a problem, the more productive they can be. Okay? Now, the third one is that information, di ba, is being shared on networks with millions of other computers. And with that, it poses a threat na who gains access or who uses this data. Okay? Another one is that the increase on reliance on commercial software with known vulnerabilities. Okay, so for example, in most companies or most organizations or most corporate organizations, they prefer installed software as is rather than implement security fixes that will either make the software harder to use, di ba? Let's accept it na those organizations who would like to use software, di ba? Would prefer those who are already installed because it would cost them less, di ba? It will cost them less. You also have it here. Another one is yung BYOD. So this one is actually even. This is also true in our organization. Like we are allowed to use our own device, but then again, let's all what do you call this one? It can be noticed na since it's our own device, diba? It's not configured in a way na that will help hinder any other attacks. Okay? So with this one, devices or personal devices get to access computer or company data which should not be done. Okay? And then the last one, medyo true to all Filipino organizations. Okay? Like software updates are being neglected. Okay, it could either be neglected or delayed. Okay, so it's because of the reason that most organizations, especially those who are in the executive part, do not understand the upcoming risks if there's a delay in software updates or patches, kumbaga. Now, with this kind of problems or the prevalence of cyber crimes or internet crimes, there are already existing exploits which we can identify among the 8. Okay, so we have here the types of computer attacks. We have viruses, worms, Trojan horses, botnets, DDoS attacks, rootkits, spam, phishing, and then, yeah, I think phishing is the last one. So let's start first with the virus, okay? So viruses, their kind of attack or their nature of attack is that they spread to other machines when a computer user opens an infected file or visits infected websites, okay? So they usually come in an executable file, and when they do, or when they are executed, there could either be loss of data or yung program, there will be a damaged program, okay, na mangyayari. You also have here worm. Worm naman duplicates itself without you doing a copy and paste, without human intervention, kumbaga. Okay, this one results to lost data and programs, lost productivity due to workers being unable to use their computers. You also have Trojan horse. So just like in the mythology, Trojan means you are the computer attacks is hidden inside a seemingly harmless program, and then you end up opening it. Okay, with this one, the hacker destroys the hard drives, corrupt files, or control the computer remotely, launch attacks against other computers, or steal passwords or social security numbers and spy other users. Okay. Number 4 are botnets. These are controlled in a remote location by hackers without the knowledge of the owner. Okay. Now, you also have here the DDoS or distributed denial of service. So this one, the hacker takes over computers on the internet and cause them to flood a targeted site with demand for data. Now, yung similar nito is that it's like you dialing a phone number repeatedly so that all other callers cannot hear or buy like it makes it a busy signal, okay? Like the computer cannot be communicated with another computer, okay? You also have rootkits. So rootkits enables user to gain administrator level access to computer. So with this one, it could mean the hacker can tweak some changes, diba? Make some changes without your knowledge, okay? And then that's bad, diba? Kaya base ninyo maguba na gid siya gid. The 7th one is the spam. So this one is actually a low-cost commercial form of advertising. Sometimes it's questionable, like they advertise products which are fake and then not real or not existing. But sometimes they promote pornography, phony get-rich-quick schemes, and then worthless stuff. So be careful on that one. You also have number 8, which is phishing. This one is trying to get the recipient to reveal personal data like birthdays, account numbers, bank account numbers, passwords, and then in exchange to access. So a fraud person sends legitimate looking emails urging the recipient to take action to it. Okay? So usually, ang ginagawa dito is that they really, what you call this one, they really have it nga parang kaparehas talaga ng legit. Like for example, they create GCash, like somewhat like similar bitaw na GCash account. Medyo same siya. Okay? So be careful. Now, we have here, aside, di ba, we usually call internet crime perpetrators as like mga criminal, di ba? But they are categorized into different categories. Okay? So we have here types of perpetrator and then their typical motives. I'll just discuss na lang the table and then the rest it's discussed in your handout, Mansad. So the first one, you have the hacker. This one tests the limits of the system and or gain publicity. Diba? Usually, those who are, these are types of perpetrators who gain really public attention. Okay? You also have crackers. They cause problems. They steal data and then corrupt systems. You also have malicious insider. They gain financially and or disrupt a company's information systems and business operations. The fourth one is industrial spy. they capture trade secrets and gain competitive advantage. So what they usually do with this one is that once they gain access to company secrets, they provide this one to their competitors and sell it to them, di ba? You also have cyber criminal. They gain financially because of the access they got from different bank accounts, obviously. And then you also have hacktivists. This one is illegally promoting ideology, political ideology among users of certain platforms, di ba? Sometimes you receive this one in your Gmail without you uh, knowing na nakasubscribe di ka di ay. You also have cyber terrorists. This one is the most deadly because they destroy infrastructure, components of financial institution, utilities, and emergency response units. So one thing I got a knowledge on this one is that yung like cyber terrorists who tries to perpetrate bitaw the airport system of a particular country. So with that one dayon, of course there will be disruption on the landing and then of course the takeoff of airplanes, and that will cause some harm to those who are doing their travel, of course. So those are the perpetrators, okay, who are carries out harmful and illegal and of course immoral act towards other people. Now, so how do we prevent this one? So we have what you call trusty computing, and actually, this is best implemented by Microsoft. Okay, so if you will look at this one, this is the figure illustrated or used by Microsoft. We have to in order for you to build a trustworthy computing. So yung association ng trustworthy computing is that it means na your company or the system that you are using delivers secure, private, and reliable computing experiences based on sound business practices. Now, how do you do trustworthy computing? You need to be, what do you call this one? You need to be as, what do you call this one? As you need to implement best practices in terms of security, privacy, reliability, and of course, business integrity. Now, yung best implementer nito is si Microsoft kasi they really have like a certain pillar and then they have the actions that needs to be taken whenever they would want to have a trustworthy computing on a particular business. So I'll just mention some few and then the rest you can just read it, okay? The first one is that in terms of security, we need to try to invest in the expertise and technology required to create a trustworthy environment. So it would mean that this will really like investing money on technology that will help with your security, okay? Not only in the security, like physical security, but also computing security. You also have privacy. Make privacy a priority in the design, development, and testing of products. So for example, if your company is into development of products, privacy should be on top of the list. Like no one should know, not unless they are given access to it. Reliability. I'd like to highlight na in terms of reliability, building a system should provide accurate and timely service whenever needed. Okay? Reliable means you get to act whenever there are scenarios that will cause harm to either the business itself or to the computing ano. The last one is what you call business integrity, and of course you are to with business integrity, you need to be open in dealings with customer since you are doing man business, di ba? You keep motives clear, keep promises, and make sure customers know where they stand in dealing with the company. Okay? Now, we have here activities for implementing trustworthy computing. So again, these are just actions taken by Microsoft. Of course, not all of this one can be implemented to other companies, not unless they will align themselves with the Microsoft way. Okay, we have here activities that will help implement trustworthy computing. So the first one is risk assessment. This means assessing security-related risks to an organization. It could either be from internal or external. Okay, when you say assessing security-related risks, it means calculating what are the possible damages or problems that can be encountered whenever implementation of such what do you call this one? Such factors will be implemented. Next, we have here steps. Okay, so with risk assessment, you have 8 steps that you need to consider. The first one is identifying the set of IT assets. The second one is identifying the loss events or the risk threats that could occur with the set of asset resources you have. You also have assessing the frequency of events or the likelihood of each potential threat. The fourth one is determining the impact of each threat if ever they will come into realization. The fifth one is determining how this threat can be mitigated. When you say mitigated, it could either be solved or lessened, like the damage of it should be lessened. And then assess the feasibility of implementing the mitigation options. So of course, you can't have one available solution only. Dapat medyo meron kang alternative, okay? So that if plan A will not help, then plan B is ready. You also have perform a cost-benefit analysis. Since this is business, you need to assess whether which among your alternatives or mitigation plans will cost you less but still will not sacrifice the security that you're trying to provide. And then the last one is, of course, we'll leave it to the executives whether they decide to implement it or not. Okay, because after all, IT people are just on the process. They're only part of the proposal and then the implementation. The deciding part whether to implement it will be always on the executives. Okay. You also have another activity which is establishing a security policy. This one is already practiced by most companies. Like for example, you are provided with an account and then the password is auto-generated. Okay. You also have here like companies will provide you with guidelines on what email attachments should be used whenever this particular email should be sent to either to the company or towards another company. Okay, and then what are the policies on wireless device access? Okay, you also have here educating employees, contractors, and part-timers. This means that you are providing them with seminars on how to guard their passwords, when to prohibit others, or what's the importance of prohibiting others in accessing their passwords, and then of course applying strict access control. And of course, the last one, ito yung medyo talaga hindi na nangyayari because we don't take it seriously, like reporting any unusual activity you notice. You also have here prevention. So si prevention naman, we have here on the side of the company. So for example, installing a corporate firewall, di ba? A firewall stands as a guard between organizations, internal and internal network and the internet, di ba? Ito yung nasa loob, then the rest dayon is yung nasa labas or yung the internet. You also have intrusion prevention systems. So this work to prevent an attack by blocking viruses, malformed packets, and other threats from getting into protected network. So usually organizations do this one, like for example, organizations won't allow you to install any other software unless it's approved by the IT department. That's an example of IPSS. And then of course, installing antivirus software on personal computers, okay? And then implementing safeguards against attacks by malicious insiders, okay? So, and then you also have addressing the most critical internet security threats. And the last one is conducting periodic IT security audits. So this one is a prevention tool that evaluates whether an organization has well-considered policy. For example, password policy, system access, and level of authority. So security audit or IT audit usually happens by quarter. But then if usual na kayo nga na may cyber attacks, they do it on a regular basis like twice a week. Okay? The last one is what you call, the second to the last is detection. Okay? This one is determining whether there's an intrusion from inside or from the outside. And then the last one or the last activity will be the response. So we have here a sample plan. So first one is incident notification. The second one is protection of evidence and activity logs. Incident containment, eradication, and incident follow-up. For incident notification, it means na you are able to identify who should know and then who should not know about the incident. The second one is protection of the evidence. It means like securing all of the copies. needed copies for all of the documents involved or software involved or people involved in the incident. And then incident containment means keeping the situation into becoming into a bigger and then bad or worse. Okay? And then the last one is eradication. Ayan. We have here before the IT security begins the eradication effort, it must collect, log possible criminal evidence from the system. Okay? And then, tsaka niya gagawin yung pag-eradicate. The last one naman is yung incident follow-up. It means nga the organization will do a thorough check so that it will not happen again. So those are the things you need to remember or you need to consider when you deal with internet and computer crimes. Okay? So this is the last one. And then after this one, I'll be giving the examination by Saturday via Google Form for a certain minutes. And then please leave a comment if you have questions. Thank you.